Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to this What's Map DLC special with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we'll have a look at the Campus DLC, which was released in May of 2019. Now, that was a DLC which brought us education, and more education, yellow school buses, and Ludo Cartography 101. Now, I'm not entirely sure what that actually is supposed to mean, but what I can tell you it means is that somebody has been to map making college. Seriously, these maps, while not the greatest maps you'll ever see, are so much better than every other DLC set of maps we've seen so far. So I would say pretty much all of them are playable. Take a seat, everybody. And while you're sat down, why not give that like button a little click? Go on then, you know you want to. Okay, today's very first map from the Campus DLC is Marin Bay. Now, this is one that you may remember from when I did that little test run on speed builds. We did focus on this one a little bit. There's your start square. It's on an island in the middle of the water. This makes the map a little bit different from most of the others, just a little bit different. Resources, again, splish splosh all over the... What the hell? It just flipped. I don't know what happened there, but it just flipped. That was very strange. I'm not going to go back and re-edit that. I quite enjoyed that. That woke me up. Okay, and then we all head down to ground level and follow the roads. Okay, so we have got ourselves a river valley. Nice flat buildable land. We have got a decent, and I mean decent, highway and layout. It's just, look, clean, equidistant. It's just crisp. Crisp is what it is. Here's your start score intersection, and it's a trumpet intersection. Goes elevated to go across a perfectly beautiful bridge there, and then you've got your start square double intersection there. I'm not really sure why we need that there, to be honest with you. It's taking up an awful large amount of land on a limited build space to start your city, so I would delete that and start off with a blank area, to be honest with you. We have got the essential lighthouse and the essential jetty there as well, quite nicely placed. Can't really grumble about those too much. Anyway, this highway then goes off towards the edge of the map. There is actually traffic that will jump onto that highway when you start the game up. We do have shipping routes that loop back onto each other very neatly there, and then you can follow this up and loop around the island as well, which is all very clean and tidy. No grumbles there. Goes underneath the bridge at the highest point. It's all very good work. Water flow, it's a little weak for what is a DLC map, but it's not horrible. It's fine. It's workable. It's absolutely workable. I don't have any problems with it. Now, we do have a second highway that we have already got. Oh, look at this. Now, this is somebody who has seen trenches before, and they have made a don't know why we're defending this stack of rocks, mind you, but yes, that's a very well done little set piece there. And I do like a good set piece, and we've got more set pieces on this map as well. So yeah, we've got traffic running on this highway. Traffic will run on the other highway when you start building. Now, we do have another little island over here, like this castle. Hint to there being like a little ferry service back in medieval days. Probably one of those rope pulley ones that took you across to the main island here. Like this castle, this is very clean and tidy. And I do like this little garden area as well. Lined with trees. We've got a little cave over there as well, which I think... I'm not a big fan of the Park Life caves, but I think that's been worked very well indeed. That's good work. Speaking of Park Life caves, so we've got another one of the Park Life caves worked there as well, and of course the Park Life glory hole. I still don't know what's lighting this up at the bottom. But yes, yeah, I could probably live without that one. That could be deleted without any concern at all. We've got everybody's favourite factory and some really nice sidings going on there. A jetty which could be just clipped a little bit better into the land there. You need a ladder to climb up onto that one, even though it is abandoned. Doesn't really matter that much. So yes, this is a very workable map, definitely playable. Start square is a little bit lacking, I would say, the start square, especially with the intersection built on the island. I would get rid of that one. But all said, all well and done, I would give this a very solid 3 stars. Not a low 3, not a very high 3, but like a medium high, a medium high 3. There, we'll go with that for Marin Bay from the Campus DLC. And I can't believe I'm actually crediting a DLC map for being pretty solid. Now, next up, this is possibly the worst of the 5 maps today, and it's not bad. Okay, this is the worst, and it's not bad. It's Murky Coast Campus DLC. Obviously, we've got the rivers that merge, and then they'll split as well immediately afterwards. So let's have a look at the start square. Start square, that actually is much better than the start square in that first map, which is a big selling point, I would say. And then resources, definitely workable. A hint of oil here and there. Not really an oil map, though. More about the farming, I think, on this one. And down to a ground level. Now, Campus DLC, I understand with the Industries DLC it was all about resources. I'm not really sure where Campus comes into this one, apart from you could build campuses, but you could build campuses anywhere, I guess. So, but in terms of, I would say education, the rail's just peeling off there. We'll catch up with that rail a bit later on. Yeah, in terms of education, I would say that the map makers of today's 5 maps have definitely learnt from some of their weaker maps previously. I think they've been learning. I have, or I think, or they have, or somebody has anyway. This bridge is a little bit clunky. It's a little bit high. You see the way it's raised up there. If we've got shipping going through it, then that would forgive it. But it just looks a little bit awkward. A little bit awkward. Then you've got the start square intersection, just a plot of wishbone there, and again that's very workable, can't really grumble too much about that either. And then that will join up with the rail and head off towards the edge of the map. You can see that they just go parallel with each other. So we'll go back, we'll follow the rail this way, and the rail is pretty workable as well. Because we haven't got too much in the way of undulations across the most of the map, that means that the rail is going to be fairly realistic. We're not going to have too many elevation changes, unless of course we decide to go up into the hills like this. Okay, now it's just going up onto the plateau. Can we let that go? I think we can. Oh, but now we're going up into the hills. Way off into the fog though, so nobody's ever going to see it. It doesn't really matter that much. And then we have this second highway. I like this highway. Okay, it just follows the coast, not the coast, the river. It follows the river. It's not the coast, it's a winding coast. It follows the river, and it just loops around the old stonework at the end there. It's all good, and it just feels right. It could have taken a little tunnel, it could have done, but I don't mind that it didn't. I'm okay with it. And then that goes off the edge of the map over here. Now there is one last bit of networking, which is a second rail line. This is going to connect up with that first one that peeled off. Do you remember that very first one that I said peeled off, and we'd come back to it later? This is it. This is it. But there is a little set piece down here we're going to have a little look at that I think is a little high point of the map for me. In this little valley over here, we have got a little industrial area with another of everybody's favourite factory, and a nice junction, some nice sidings, and then that merges back in with the original rail there. Now, shipping, not too much to talk about here. There is a coastline, not a very big coastline, but there is a coastline, and the shipping just loops around. It loops around, and that is all you can really ask of it. Doesn't try to do anything clever. Water flow, we've got some zigzag going on here. 2 rivers coming down, they will converge together here, and then they'll diverge. I'm not so sure about this. I'm not so sure about that, but it does work, so that is fine. Yes, so it's a bit of a weird river system. We've got some marshy islands down here. I don't mind these. Again, you probably won't see them. They're out of the 25 tiles, but I do like them. They've been quite tidily done. Very happy. Also, the world's squarest volcano. Because that's how volcanoes work, isn't it? I think. Then we have these 2 rivers that emerge on either side of this central island. This one's like a little bit rocky, and you wouldn't want to take a boat up there. Some we've got another one of these defensive hell of a trench, that one. My god, that would have taken hours to build. and then this river, you could take a boat up there, but it's quite downhill. Okay, you're gonna need a big engine to get up here, so just, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I just sort of mention it. I do like this hill. This hill is quite aesthetically pleasing. Not so sure about the jetty here. All these rocks, I don't know so much. It doesn't feel right. The jetty isn't particularly well clipped into the environment, though. I've got to say that is a little bit awkward. Orcs, that is, I tell you. A nice bridge there. Then we have got the essential lighthouse. I don't know why we would have a lighthouse at this location. If you've got to this, you've already navigated a whole host of traumas, and you probably haven't even got a boat left. Liking this little castle here. Okay, this is being swollen up by the river, and you know what? I like it swallowed up by the river, but I'm liking it. Another thing that I'm liking is the mix of the trees. We're talking 100% vanilla, of course. I like the mix of the forests over here look really good. I don't mind the old the rock formation in the middle. Aesthetically, very workable indeed. In fact, aesthetically, all told, I think I quite like the map. Yes, we are talking about vanilla themes, which aren't the prettiest. I would switch this for a custom theme, but I think the whole thing comes together very nicely. I'm a bit confused about the way that the river splits and then comes together and then splits again, but it's all good, really. Again, I don't think this is a bad map. I'm going to give it 3 stars. I'm going to think it's slightly lower than the first. It's got a better start square, but slightly lower than the first map. So Murky Coast, not quite as good as Marin Bay, but I would say, again, a playable map. Right, third one up, and I think we're going up a step in quality here. Just a little step. And again, they are all very workable maps. But which one is this, I hear you ask? Okay, I'll tell you. It's Northwood Hills, again, from the Campus DLC. You can see we've got a realistic river system. Not so sure about the second river that's looping around in the top left-hand corner there. But all told, the main river I can live with quite happily. Start square, you've got the river and the split in the river as well, all very pretty, very green. So it's all about the farming, a little bit of ore there as well. But again, another strong farming map. And we have the highway running alongside the rail again, and again, it's a map that lacks undulation. I don't mind undulation if it's handled well. And one thing to be, I think it's fair to say, in the past, the creators at Colossal Order have proven that they don't know how to handle undulations well. So they've done away with it in these maps, and I think the maps are much better for it. Okay, I'm just putting that there. Loving this intersection. Okay, now it's strategically not necessarily the best though. To see we're going to get a little bit of traffic chaos there, as maybe I'll come back and look at that later. Actually, the rail is fine. We've got a little split there. We've got another intersection going on here. There's just lots going on with the map, and all of it of good quality. Then you have slightly too low, that bridge maybe, just a hint, possibly. Start square intersection bends down, and that's where you're going to be building. And I would say that is good, that's fine. And just interesting terrain shapes leading up to that as well. Oh, I skipped over that intersection. Maybe we'll go back. Anyway, the highway joins back up with the rail. I'm going to show you this rail. This rail leads to a dead end, a set piece dead end. And again, while it's not necessarily the most exciting thing you'll ever see, I would say it's been handled very nicely indeed. Yes, we're going to see a slight incline with the rail here, but again, I don't think it really matters in the context of the map. It's well within game tolerance. Some sort of rockfall going on there, and then we have everybody's favourite factory and a separate line that connects up the back end of that with another one of everybody's favourite factory there. And I think the whole thing works really well. Now have a look at this. We've got air routes. Okay, have we got a shipping route? No, but we've got an air route that goes up the river. Now, I understand following the river as a guide, but I feel that this was probably intended to be a shipping route, and then they realised, oh, hang on, no, I'm using the wrong oops. So even here you can see this kind of follows the river a little bit as well. I think that was supposed to be shipping routes. Okay, I'm just putting it there. I think that's what it was. Anyways, let's have a look at the water flow while we're here. This end, there we go. Let's go downstream. So we have a water pouring down here, which merges with this river here, giving us a strong water flow down off the map there. That's all, again, very good work. Let me just show you this in terms of terrain though. I'm confused by this ravine. What sort of natural formation is that? I don't know. I thought maybe it might be where this lake, where it would fill up, and nice castles here as well, aesthetically pleasing castles going on here and here as well, so all credit there. But yeah, maybe when this lake fills up in the rainy season, maybe that's where the water would pour out down that ravine. But then the water flows downstream from here, so I would think that that was probably more likely to fill that lake up. So I had a little look with the water controls. Let me see if I can't do it from here. Maybe. There we go. If I raise it up there, you can see if I raise it up enough so that that ravine fills with water, we actually flood the entire area. So as natural processes go, I don't really buy into that ravine at all. I just can't work out what it is meant to be. It's very pretty. It's very, very nicely done. I just don't get it. We've got a nice castle over here. This is probably a stately home castle rather than a defensible castle, mostly because right behind the castle we have got a hill and a rock as well. We've got another one of these lakes here, again with a ravine running down from it, that makes me think that that is again for the rainy season. But again, if we raise that up so that ravine fills up, we flood out the other side. We end up with a big old island there with the stately home in it. So I just don't know. I just don't know. I think it was probably a visual idea that wasn't tested to see whether it would actually work. Not that it really matters, because nobody's actually going to be testing it. I do like the shapes of the hills. The hills look great. The hills look really, really great. They do take up a big chunk of the map, though. We've only got like that buildable space there. You can work into those hills, of course, but in terms of the main build area, yeah, it's been taken up a lot by the hills. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that's meant to be. We'll let that go, shall we? Anyways, so as maps go, I quite like this. I think we could probably do it with slightly more centered in terms of build space, but it's a very solid, very, very solid map. I'm gonna go high 3. Not quite a 4-star map for me. Bear in mind, of course, aesthetically we are running with vanilla themes, so they're always going to look a bit there. But Northwood Hills, very solid map, very playable. I would recommend it. And here's another map I'd recommend as we go up another tier. Now we're going into 4-star territory, okay? They do seem to get better as they go up through the alphabet. This is Roslyn Peninsula by Campus DLC. I should say from. I've just noticed I've done so many of these shows it still says by. I'm sticking with it. There's your start square. Big chunk of flat buildable space to work into. Can't grumble about that. And the resources look like that across the map as a whole. Again, very usable, very workable, just in blotches, but it's where you need it to be. Then we have the highways. The highways, again, are of the same high standard that we've seen previously. We're going to go underneath the rail here, and the rail isn't up and over, but it's nice and smooth. Again, credit for that. This is stuff that we just haven't been seeing in DLC maps. The rail here does have a little bit of a drop off about here, just a tiny little drop off that I feel that could just be raised up, easily fixed even. And what we'll do is we're going to follow the rail off to the right. Now the map is off to the left and we are going up a hill with the rail there. I just want to show you where the rail goes to, because again, it's just another set piece. Nothing massively exciting, but certainly something that I think you'll want to check out. So we're just following around the coast, and eventually what will pop into sight? Ah yes, everybody's favourite factory. Of course it is. Of course, before we can get there, we'll find a washed out bridge, because washed out bridge, and some really bizarre sidings. But it was worth coming down this route, I feel, just to see the washed out bridge and the somewhat bizarre sidings. Up the hill, over the hill, through the valley here, and we have got our start location. Liking this, it's a nice bent, even curved wishbone intersection away from the vanilla, and that's where you're going to be starting building. Lots of space to build into there. That's very tidy. And then if we come across here, again, some very clean bridges going on here, and again, nothing that's going to break any spells, but it's all good work. And then we have the road over the rail, which is okay. I'm not sure why we had to swap sides, but we have. And then the highways will head off to the right and the rail head off to the left, so I guess that's why we had to swap sides, but surely they could have gone the other way. Does it really matter? Not really. And it was quite well done. Shipping routes, we have the one shipping route here that is basically following the coast all the way around, and then it will find a gap through the top here, and then it will loop back down the other side. So anyway you want to put yourself a little harbour, you'll have a connection. So that's all good work again from whoever made this map for us. Thank you very much, whoever made the map. Water flow, we do have some water coming down through this river, so if you want to do some pumping you could do it from there. The water spawn point up here is a fantasy spawn point. I'm not buying it, but it does work. So strategically speaking, I feel that we can go with that one. We have this little extra outlet that comes out into the ocean down by the everybody's favourite factory. That one. You see that? There it is. Loving the mountains there. Got a nice ridge going on here. The ridge extends down to the Essential Lighthouse on the end here. Nobody's going to miss that from many miles away. And then we've got another extension with the ridge coming down to here. That's all good. And then we've got a few dotted little rubble islands there. That is perfect. That is perfect. What I'm not really buying is this extra bit that's hanging off the edge of the map here. I don't know. What is all that about? There's no ridge. It doesn't match. We've even got a volcano on the end here. Why do we need a volcano? I don't feel we need a volcano. It doesn't even really feel like a volcano to me. The crater's just like I don't know, too defined without being defined enough. We've got some extra, I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes either. Defensive location there, it looks very clean, and we've even got a nice looking castle down here. At first glance you wonder what's going on with this castle, but it's a good shape. Liking the shape here. The towers, as always, we've got all the doorways up against these walls, so you can't get in or out of the towers, but all told, I think it's good. What I don't buy into, though, is what's at the end here. There's a pathway, and it's lined by standing stones. I don't really feel we need the standing stones down here. It's a path. You can see it's a path. Don't need them. Line it with smaller rocks or something, but well, it was a creative choice. We'll let them have it. Okay. More sea defences going on there. We've got another little aesthetic little castle going on down here. That is all good. And again, some good shaped mountains. So credit for the mountains as well. A few little dotted islands over here if you want to do some dotted island work. And a little industrial island over here. Probably where you're going to want your harbour, I would think. And that is it. It's a solid map. It's a good shaped map. I would say it's a very playable map. There's a lot going on with this one. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Yeah, of course, custom theme would make it look a lot better than it is. But I'm going to give this one a very solid 4 stars. 4 stars, yeah. For a vanilla base game. Well, a DLC map. Not base game, is it? DLC map. Well done. One more map to check out, and we are going to be in the same sort of quality. So again, we are looking at the Campus DLC and Wolf Creek. Okay, it's a creek full of wolves. Gotta be honest, I didn't see any wolves, but that doesn't really matter, does it? Does it? No, it doesn't. There's your start square again, very workable. Lots of buildable space in there, and broken up with the forest as well. Speaking of forests, forests is one of the resources. Of course, we've got ore as well. A little dash of fertile land going on there too. Not too much in the way of oil, but it's fine. It's a campus map. It's all about where you're going to build your campuses. I play quite a bit of Civilization 6, and campuses go up against mountains for adjacency bonuses. Just remember that. Now we've got a cutting here, and in case you think it's just glitching, no, you can see it's a deliberate cutting by the rock placement on this side of the mountain there. So I would say that detailing tells me that that cutting is intended to be, and so I'm happy to let it go. It's fine. If anything, that was the worst thing on the entire map, and it's still fine. It's fine. Heading down here towards our first intersection, and of course it's the vanilla wishbone. Yeah, it's fine. It'll do. It'll do. It's not broken, is it? Nope. A bridge here. Gotta say, a little bit clunky the way that the bridge has been handled, but it'll do again. It'll do. And then you have your start square intersection there with the highways that lead down into the buildable area. And that is very lovely. I could build in there all day quite happily. And then another slightly clunky looking bridge, especially the down ramp. Not the best map, not the best ridges on this, bridges on this map. Could have stayed level. Could have stayed level as it came down to ground, and that would have been just a lot better. I've been talking for a long time, and now my words are coming out in a real bizarre order. I think I know what I mean when I'm talking, and hopefully you'll be keeping up with me as well. Anyway, the highways come up into this valley and just follow the river up. So that is all good. Meaning we can check out one of the other networks, and that is the rail. Again, it's a relative, although it's lots of hills going on, it's a relatively flat build plane, so there's not too much to grumble about in terms of elevation changes. What elevation changes we have are like this one. It's beyond realism, but it's fine. We can roll with it. We do have a bridge over here which has then gone elevated again, so I think the whole thing could have been handled a lot better by a more experienced map maker, but they haven't done a bad job. Then we go back up and we are again on the build plateau, which means it can stay nice and level and flat, and follow the river down here along between the river and the mountains. It's good, it's clean, it's crisp. Nothing to complain about. So anyway, that goes off. We'll follow that down. It stays smooth. You see how rugged that could have gone. It could have gone all over the place. Some of the earlier maps it would have done. We have no shipping routes on this map, so no shipping route. We do have air routes. They don't follow the rivers though on this occasion. And we have water flow. We have two rivers that converge here, and a good strong river that carries on down the side of the mountains, which is good. So anyway, that's your start square area. Lots of buildable space there. I'm totally buying into this island and these rocks at this convergence. It just makes all the sense. It just feels realistic. So score 1 for that. The mountains feel realistic as well. So score 1 for that. Defensive location up here. I'm not really sure what that is. Part of the Great Wall of China, possibly. We've got a maze thing going on here. I don't know what this is. And it doesn't work. You can't get through it. In fact, there's a whole chunk of it that you cannot get into here. So I don't know what that is. Maybe you were supposed to walk down to there via stairs, but then there's no rooms. I don't know what that is. It's frivolous entertainment, that one. We'll let them have it because the rest of the map's quite good. A little bit of a divot there. I don't know if that's intended, but it looks like it's intended, so we'll let it be. We have got here a lake with a little waterfall running down into it, which again would look much better if it wasn't vanilla, but can't do anything about the vanilla, so that's what we've got. If it was custom, that would look very nice indeed. If we head over this way, there is another lake. I completely buy into this. There would indeed be a lake in that location, so credit for that one. Lots of credit being given here. All told, I think this is my favourite map of the bunch. There's a few things that I would definitely want to fix, but all told, this is the one I'd be playing on. I'm going to give this one 4 stars as well. It's a lowish 4, but it's still 4 stars. It's very playable, very nice. Wolf Creek from the Campus DLC. All 5 maps playable, and that is the first time we've ever said that about DLC content. Are they the best maps in the whole wide world? No, there's a lot better on the workshop. But if you haven't got access to the workshop, you've got 5 new maps there, and they're not going to disappoint you. They're just not. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. Head on over to patreon.com/BonBonB to help support the channel for just $1 a month. I would love to see you over there. Anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon.